Nearly 500 migrants, adults and young children, are lucky to be alive after smugglers abandoned them in a tractor trailer. Mexican authorities rescued nearly 300 in one operation over the weekend as the nation tries to crack down on smugglers transporting migrants to the United States in dangerous conditions. Just a day later, Mexican authorities say they intercepted another 200 migrants in the back of an abandoned truck, potentially drugged. Bracelets were reportedly wrapped around their arms to identify them, and they were crammed in a trailer box that was adapted to avoid X-ray detection. This year alone, border agents in the Rio Grande Valley sector say they've intercepted more than 100 trucks illegally transporting migrants. And while the risk some are taking remains high, the latest Border Patrol numbers show the number of crossings going down. This man left Colombia last year, but he says the journey here paled in comparison to what he experienced in U.S. custody.
Yo duré 5 días en ese centro de detención, donde no te puedes ni bañar, los baños en una sola cisterna.
He asked us to conceal his identity, alter his voice, and use the pseudonym Sebastián, because his immigration case is still pending and he fears retaliation. Sebastián was sent to an ICE detention center in Louisiana and was subjected to conditions advocates describe as horrific and inhumane.
Did you ever fear for your life? ¿Temías por tu vida ahí?
Sí, yo creo muchas. O sea, hay veces que el encierro es tal que no te dan esperanza de nada.
In exclusive interviews with NBC News, people who are or were detained at the Wynn Correctional Center describe how they were given undrinkable water, constantly threatened with solitary confinement, and barely given access to doctors, even in dire situations.
The contract for Wynn Correctional expires in May 2024. The answer is simply to not renew it. That facility cannot be reformed.
In a statement provided to NBC News, a spokesperson for ICE said the agency, quote, provides comprehensive policy and strict oversight for the administrative custody of one of the most transient, diverse populations of any correctional or detention system in the world, and holds firm to continuous review of the many factors relevant to the continued operation of each of its facilities.
I think the thing that makes me most heartbroken for people like Sebastián is that they come here and they absolutely believe what the American people believe, which is that the United States is a beacon of hope. And they never anticipated that they would come to the U.S. and be thrown into a jail.
All right, Ellison Barber joins us now in studio. And Ellison, this facility you highlighted there at the end of your report, this is not the first time there have been complaints brought to ICE about that center?
Yeah, it's not. There have been a series of complaints brought against this particular facility. One thing that's interesting is a couple years ago, ICE's Office of Civil Rights and Civil Liberties actually launched an investigation into this facility because they'd gotten so many complaints. Ultimately, what they advised ICE to do was to draw down the population at this center to zero until some of the safety concerns that they outlined could be addressed. That did not happen, but we have seen in the last year, in 2022, ICE started some renovations on the facility, which were supposed to be to deal with some of those issues. But look, advocates we've spoken to, they say nothing has changed since that civil rights investigation. They say they've been back there. They see the same conditions they've always seen. They're hearing the same things from people who are detained there, and the population is still incredibly large. One thing they want to happen is for the Biden administration to decide not to renew the contract with this private company that operates this facility. They say that contract is up for renewal in 2024, and the Biden administration could simply say we're not renewing it, and this would close. And they feel that's what needs to happen because they say this facility is beyond any sort of reform.
Okay. Ellison Barber first. Ellison, we appreciate that.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.